Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barakam to the brothers. Shalom, Yahweh Shamar. Allah Ta'ala Shem Yahshua to the sisters. I is K Minnesota, officer and priest, officer and priest Maccabi 5000 with the Lashawan Qadash, which is a language class. Today we are going to get into vocab words, all right? We are going to show the Hebrew and the English as well, as far as the Hebrew, just to get, good with common Hebrew words that we say all the time in the UK, or words that you may hear all the time that you may not understand, right? Like for example, when brothers and sisters are around each other, because of certain people being around the school or being around for such a good amount of time, you start to pick up on the terminology. You start to pick up on the slang and the words of how we speak, how we talk, how we carry ourselves. So those are the words that we are going to go over today, all right? So these are going to be like some common words, okay? And if it's not so common, once you watch this class, we will get into it more in depth. So we are going to get into how to write it out in Hebrew, what is the actual Hebrew word, and how to write it out in the English as well, as far as the definition, okay? So this is a class where you want to make sure that you actually take out, notebook and pen and paper, put it in your phone somewhere, write it down somewhere, to where you have some notes of this class, because it's going to be pretty informative. And also, it's going to be very useful in the future, because these words that I'm going to go over in Hebrew and also in the English, we are going to use them in the future, all right? So that way we can make sure that everybody is, getting used to it, understanding it, and we have a little bit of homework, all right? So otherwise, once again, shalom to everybody. Pay your tithes. Passover is coming up on April 20th, 2024. Make sure that you pay that Passover fee, all right? So 17 and up, if you got a family, all right? So for the adults, it's $200 per adult, all right? As far as children are free, okay? But otherwise, make sure that you handle those fees as soon as possible. And if you want to handle those fees, that's on isupk.com. Go to the website, and you hit the donate button. It should tell you exactly if you're donating or if you're paying for the Passover fee. But you have to hit the donate button, and it should tell you which one you should hit for the actual Passover fee. All right? Otherwise, we got the Florida Cookout coming up very soon. This month, I believe, in the third or fourth week of this month. All right, I'll get back to everybody as far as the actual dates. Otherwise, share the content, like, comment, subscribe, do your thing. All right, so let's keep going. Give me 1 second here. Okay. All right, so let me see. Okay. All right, so once again, we are going to go over Hebrew words. All right, so vocabulary, because these vocabulary words are going to be used in the future. And if you want to know how to speak Hebrew, you got to be in these classes. This is where it's at. These classes are going to teach you how to speak the proper Hebrew. We are not speaking about modern Hebrew, which is called Yiddish. This is an ancient Hebrew class. There's a difference, okay? The so-called Jewish, who is, white, the Jewish, the Caucasians, they speak modern Hebrew, which is Yiddish. That's not actual Hebrew that comes from the Bible. All right, it's two different things. Right here is real history. And also, too, we throw in a little bit of, history and archaeology. We throw in a little bit more than just language in this type of class. Okay? All right, so anyway, let's go ahead and get to it. Now, of course, before we actually get into the topic of the vocab words, we need to understand that we have some words right here that we got to get into, which is called the alphabet. As far as the alphabet, when it comes to ancient Hebrew, it's going to be right here at the top. All right? You got the 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 da, the the wa, the za, ka, ta, ya, ka, la, ma, na, sa, I, pa, ta, za, kwa, the ra, the sha, and the th. Okay? All right, so yes, so we've got a few, different words that we got to go over, or letters. All right, so for example, right here, this is the That's the This is the ba. This is the ga. This is the da. So we got the ba, the ga, and the da. We got the ha. We got the wa, W-A, the za, the ka once again, the ta, and we have the ya. All right, let me keep going. Of course, we got the ka, the la, the ma, the na, the sa, the I, the pa. Y'all bear with me real quick. Okay. All right, let me see. All right. All right, so we have the the ba, the ga, wa, za, ka, ta, ya, ka, the la, ma, na, sa, I, pa, ta, za, kwa, ra, and sha. And also, lastly, of course, the th. Right? So as far as the alphabet, this is what you have right here. And of course, with Hebrew, we have to use these words, or better yet, these letters, in a way to where everybody can understand. Okay? So, once again, we have the letters in Hebrew, and we have to use these letters in a way to where everybody understands. We have to use it as examples. And that's what we are going to get into as far as the actual, vocab words. Okay? And there's a lot to cover. There's so many words that we have to cover to where we are going to use in the future, to where it may not make it to this class, it may be a part 2. All right? Give me 1 second. All right, so once again, starting off with the and once again, as far as Hebrew, everything is right to left, not left to right. So it starts right here, the ba, ga, ga, wa, za, ka, ta, ya, ka, la, ma, na, sa, I, ha, ta, za, kwa, ra, sha, ta. So that is the alphabet as far as the ancient Hebrew. Once again, this is not Yiddish. This is ancient Hebrew. All right. Let's go ahead and erase this real quick. All right, so let's get into the actual vocab words. All right. All right, so we are going to start off with Yasha'ala. All right? Yasha'ala should be a common word that we always hear and speak about. Yasha'ala is literally who the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians are, as far as the nation. All right. Yasha'ala. And some of these words we may have to actually break down. So I want y'all to be aware of that as well. So let me see. Okay. So Yasha'ala means Israel. Okay. All right. Yasha'ala means Israel. That's how you get Israelites. Yasha'ala is Israel, who are the Israelites. Understand that Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel later. When you read Genesis, what is it, the 34th chapter? Let me see. Okay, Genesis, the 35th chapter. Here we go. All right. So when you read Genesis, the 35th chapter, you see how Jacob had fought with an angel. When he fought this angel, the angel had broke the hollow of his hip. And he said, no more would your name be called Jacob, but your name will be called Israel. All right. And because of Jacob being the forefather, right, we have Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Abraham, whose son is Isaac, and Isaac had a son whose name was Jacob. Jacob is the progenitor of the Israelites. The word progenitor means father of. Okay? So Jacob had 12 sons. And within those 12 sons, they became a whole nation over time. That's where you get the word generation. All right. So from generation to generation, if you guys are able to, be big as a family, sometimes you could be considered as a nation of people. All right. So, like for example, right, we know about the Rothschilds because they are a big family. They have been around for such a long time. The Smiths, the Johnsons, like some of these household names that we hear about all the time. Those are like that. That's what is considered to be a nation of people because of these names. Okay. Otherwise, as far as the Israelites, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, all the way down to Issachar, has been around for such a long time. We have never left. We've always been here for such a long time, for many, many thousands and thousands of years. That's why we are still here today. Like so-called Black, Hispanic, and Indian people have always been around. Like all through history, you will see nothing but the Negroes, the Latinos, the Indians. You will see them everywhere in history because we have been around for such a long time. Because we are a people. So the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian people, we are a family. Okay? And we are called, Israelites. Or better yet, Israel. Israel is a nation, but we are Israelites. We are not Black. We are not Hispanic. We are not, Ojibwe, Blackfoot. That is not our title. But because of the captivity that we have been in, that's why we have those titles. That's why we know Spanish. That's why we know English. That's why we know so many different languages, except for ancient Paleo Hebrew. We don't know that, because that is our original tongue. That's why the class is called Lashawan Qadash, because that is our native tongue. This is our language. Not this language that I'm speaking right now. Not the Espanol. Not any other language that belongs to the oppressor. Understand the reason why we speak the language that we do right now is because it came from our oppressor. Think about the history of where you were captive at. You learned their language and you forgot your language. But yet, here we are. Yasha'Allah, Israel. Okay? All right, so let's see something. All right. Give me a second here. All right, here we go. Yasha'Allah, Israel. It's also in Hebrew. Ya, Shar, because it's connected. La. So the Ya is by itself. The Sha and the Ra is connected. So the A drops off with the Ra. So the Ya by itself. The Sha and the Ra, Shar. Shar. The is by itself, and the La is by itself as well. That's why nothing gets dropped off. So Ya, Shar, La. Right next to each other, but not connected. Yasha'Allah, Israel. Yasha'Allah, Israel. And this is how you write it out in the Hebrew. Now, the reason why I put a blue line in between is because Yasha'Allah also means another thing as well. Okay? I'll give y'all that in a second. All right. So, as far as a prefix, the ya, it means he. It means he. Okay? All right? Shar means prince. And then Allah, or Allah, how you pronounce it really, means power. Now, mind you, Allah, we are going to get into this a little bit later, either tonight or next week. Allah means more than just power. It has many definitions to it based on the context of the word. Okay? So, we have Yasha'Allah Israel, got it in Hebrew right here. What does it mean? Yasha'Allah, he, prince, power. And then you can put in a little bit of keywords in it too. You know what I mean? You want to plug in some words? He is prince of power. Anytime we say Yasha'Allah, prince of the power. And when we're speaking about prince of the power, we're talking about princes who are who? Men. He, meaning men. Prince of the power. That's what it is. Okay? Let me put that in there as well. There you go. Okay. All right. So, Yasha'Allah Israel. Yasha'Allah. He, prince, power. Moving on. All right, the word in Hebrew is malak. Malak. Malak means king in Hebrew, all right? Malak is king in Hebrew, okay? We also got an amazing brother in the school by the name of Malak, okay? Out there in Kansas City putting in great work. Right? All right. There you go. That's the Hebrew. The ma, which is M-A, right here. The la, which is L-A. And then the ka. But the ka is supposed to be K-A, but it drops off at the middle. I'm sorry, at the end. So the A drops off at the end because the la and the ka are connected together. So it's ma-lak. Ma-la-ka, malak. It's not going to be la-ka, it's going to be lak. So malak. All right. So the definition once again is going to be king. Okay. And that's really it. It's very self-explanatory. Nothing more to it. All right. Moving on. All right, the word is aratazah. Okay, and if this helps, I'll put in some blue dots just to separate it just a little bit. Aratazah. Aratazah. Okay, aratazah is a word that we always hear during Sabbath service. We always hear any other time. But if you are reading the actual Hebrew for if you're actually reading the Hebrew for Lashawan Qadash or Sabbath service, you may hear this word all the time, aratazah. All right? And aratazah simply means earth, land, or country. So earth, land, or country. Okay? That's what aratazah means. And you will see that a lot when you are reading the scriptures and the Bibles and the books. Okay? All right. And this is the Hebrew for it. All right, so this is the Hebrew right here. Ra, tazah. So the reason why we have these little, things underneath, these are called characters. And with these characters right here, it lets you know whether it's singular, or plural. So this is singular right here because it's not connected. If it's connected, that means that it's called a closed parenthesis. All right, this right here is singular. This right here is plural. I'll just put plural right there, all right? Plural. Okay? This right here, this symbol, is singular, meaning that it's by itself. The letter, it's by itself. So you will spell out the entire letter, which is up. Or the entire letter, which is up, right? Now, as far as this right here, this character, it would be plural, so that means that one letter is connected to the other. So that makes it plural. Okay, but each one is by itself. The the r, to the is all by itself. All three letters. All right, so yeah, otherwise it's called singular, open parenthesis. So like open, and otherwise if it's like this, upside down, it's called closed. Open parenthesis, closed parenthesis. Singular when it's like that, closed or plural when it's like this. Okay? That's what that means. All right, moving on. The word is Yawam. Yawam. Yawam is actually a word that we went over maybe like 2-3 weeks ago. All right? A couple of weeks ago, we went over this word, which means day in Hebrew. Okay? All right, the word Yawam means day in Hebrew. Okay? We went over this a couple of weeks ago. Also, too, going over the months of the week, the months of the year, the days of the week. We went over that as well. So that's what Yawam means, day. And when you read the Lord's Prayer, that's where you're going to see that word commonly, which is day, D-A-Y, day, Yawam. That's how you would say it in Hebrew. All right? Okay. All right. That's how you would write it out as far as the ancient Hebrew. Ya, which is right here. The wa and the ma, Yawam. Okay? Yawam. Right? All right. The word is Ayash. Some people, based on their accent, they may say Ayash, but it's really Ayash. Ayash. So A-H, Ayash. All right? Ayash or Ayash. Based on how you speak, where you come from, you may pronounce it differently. Or otherwise, Ayash. Like we have a strong brother in Oklahoma City, already at Oklahoma State, Ayash Kabawad, right? Ayash Kabawad is a very strong militant soldier in the ISUPK. So Ayash. Ayash means man or husband. So it can mean two different things. Ayash, man or husband. Man or husband. Ayash or Ayash. Okay? All right. Ayash. All right. And by the way, we're only going to focus on the Hebrew, not the Assyrian, which is right here at the bottom. I want to focus on the Hebrew more than anything first, and then we will get into the Assyrian another time. Okay? So yeah, Ayash. A-H, the Ya, and the Sh is connected, but the A drops off from the Sh. So A-H, the Ya, and the Sh, Yash. Ayash. Man and husband, or man or husband. But yeah. Okay, man, it can mean man in one context, or husband in another context as well. Okay? Just like every single word that we know of, it can have different contexts or meanings based on how you use it. All right? Let's go ahead and keep it going. All right, the word is Panyam. 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 Slap it. Panyam. All right. Panyam is another common word. If you never heard it, I'm going to explain what this word means. Okay. The word means face. The word means face or appearance. Right? That's what Panyam means. Face or appearance in Hebrew. When you get into Hebrew Academy, for those brothers who have never been a part of the extreme training, that we have in our ISUK, where you graduate with your cover. Okay, so if you saw me with a jacket or a cover with some Hebrew lettering, with a shield, the UPK shield in the back, or something in the front, that's the cover. All right, so you got to graduate Hebrew Academy in order to get that. So once you are in Hebrew Academy, you will start to learn some of these words. Not all of them that I'm going to break down, soon enough. Otherwise, some of these words will start to pop up. Okay, like for example, Panyam is very similar to one word that you will see. Okay. All right. So moving on. Panyam means face or appearance. Otherwise, in Hebrew, Pun Yum. Pun is P-A, and then the na is N-A. So pun, the A drops off with the na, so P-A-N. It looks like pan, but it's pun. Pun, and then yum. The ya, Y-A, the ma, M-A. But the A drops off at the end, so yum. Pun yum. Yum. Okay? One more word, and then we're going to erase it, and we go on to something else, as far as more vocab words. All right? All right. Also, too, as far as Panyam, I guess you could say face appearance or presence, but I'll just leave it right here. That's good enough. But yeah, all right. The Hebrew word is Vayath. Okay? Vayath. Vayath means house. It means house, dwelling, house dwelling in, or better yet, temple. Right? So, Vayath means house, dwelling, temple. Right? That's what that means. Right? And then right here, the Hebrew. Slide, give me 1 second here. All right, but yeah, there you go. Okay. All right, so as far as the Hebrew, we have Yasha'Allah at the top. Yasha'Allah, Israel. That's how you say Israel in Hebrew. Yasha'Allah. This is how you write it out in Hebrew. Yasha'Allah simply means he, Prince, power. So he is Prince of power. Okay. Malak. Malak is a common word that we always hear all the time. Malak simply means king. But now, this brother in the school, once again, in Kansas City, his name is Malak. Amazing 5,000. All right? King. This is how you write it out in Hebrew. Aratazah. Aratazah, if you read the prayers, you would hear about, you will see this word or hear this word all the time. Okay? Aratazah. It means earth, land, definition. And this is how you write it out in the actual Hebrew, ancient Hebrew. We went over this a couple of weeks ago. The days of the week, Yawam. Yawam means day. And this is how you write it out in the Hebrew. Ayash. We got a brother in the school by the same name, Ayash Kabawad in Oklahoma. All right, or, OKC. Ayash. It means man or husband based on the context. And here we go. This is how you write it out in Hebrew. Payam. Payam means face or appearance. And this is how you write it out in Hebrew. Vayath. Vayath means house, dwelling, or temple. Okay? When we go over the Feast of Tabernacles, yes. When we go over the Feast of Tabernacles, you will see this word pop up. All right? Now, of course, you will see other words that are similar to this, but there are like past tense, present tense, and future tense as well. So the word may change a little bit, but you will see the word Vayath in the scriptures if you are reading in the Hebrew. Okay, you will see it. All right? So when we go into December, 7th, as far as the Feast of Hanukkah, okay, it still may come up as far as this word right here. We may see this word because we have to read all the high holy days and the holy convocation. So the feast days and the convocation days, right? So we will see this word eventually, right? Which means house, dwelling, or temple. It's a place where you live. So if you live in a house or apartment, that's your dwelling place. That's your temple. That's your house. Okay? And this is how you put it out here, right here in the Hebrew. All right, so let's go ahead and erase this. and move on. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into the next one. All right. All right, the word is Nathan. Nathan. When we read the Lord's Prayer, this is a common word that you will always see. Nathan. Nathan is a common word, right? Yeah. Nathan is going to be a common word that you're always going to see when you read the Lord's Prayer. Now the question is, what does Nathan mean? Now the reason why I put in a blue circle in between the na and the thun is because I want you to know how to pronunciate slack. I want you to know how to pronunciate it better, okay? All right, so Nathan simply means a few things, all right? First is to give, all right? To give. In another context, it's going to be put. Set. S-E-T. Permit. And if you know anything as far as a proposition, matter of fact, I'll just say this. Nathan means to give, put, set, permit. And there's one more. It means beside. All right? So, Nathan means to give, put, set, permit, or beside. Okay? So it means a couple of different things based on how you use the word. Like once again, every single word has different meanings. All right. So like for example, if you look in a dictionary right now, there's so many words, there's so many definitions and ways that you can use the word. Like for example, right? You say the word damn. Damn can be a good thing or a bad thing. A dam is actually a river, or a dam is something that flows. It's a flow of water. Okay, a dam is simply a water, like a waterfall. Like in Minnesota, we have something called Minnehaha Falls. Minnehaha Falls is simply a dam where water runs through the rocks and it falls over. It's called a dam because it goes over. It starts at the top and it goes down. It's called a dam. Okay? The same dam when it comes to animals. Something like beavers. Beavers live in an area of where dams are at. Dams is where there's a whole bunch of wood, rocks, and there's water just flowing through. You know what I mean? It's just going down and down and down a stream. like a little river, right? That's called a dam. Okay, it's like a big little waterfall, so on and so forth, right? Otherwise, sometimes we use damn as a curse word to where we are upset. Or sometimes we use damn as damn, like that looks good, as a form of expressing what we are saying in a good way or a bad way. There's so many ways that you can use words, you know what I mean? They have a lot of usage as far as it, right? So now, as far as the word Nathan, right? Nathan, it can mean to give in one context. It can mean put in one context, set, permit, or decide in another context, all right? All right, so give me a second here. Give me 1 second here. Salaki. Right, all right, so, all right, let's move on. Oh, Salaki, gotta get the Hebrew real quick. All right, so that's the Hebrew, right? We got the na, the th, and the na again. Na is by itself right here. The th and the na is connected, which is the thun. So, Nathan, all right? Nathan is to give, put, set, permit, decide. Otherwise, there goes the Hebrew. All right, let's get to it. Next one. All right, the word is ein. So it looks like an English word, right? But as far as Hebrew, it's not. It sounds like an English word. It looks like an English word, you know, because in English, this is how you would say ein. You put in, you know, this right here. All right, ein. You put that right there, and that makes ein, right? But otherwise, in Hebrew, it's just the I and the M. You ain't got to put no punctuation in there at all. Okay? It's just the I and the M. You ain't got to put no punctuation at all. Okay? It's I and M. I. Right? It's the I and the ma. Okay? You got the I right here, and then you got the ma. But the A drops off because it's going to be what? Connected. All right? So, what does I mean in Hebrew? So, I, you have what is, all right, so definition is going to be people. All right, people. Tribe, like the tribe that you are from. Troops. And then lastly, a flock. All right? A flock. So, what does I mean? It means people, tribe, troops, or a flock. Okay? Think of a flock as a group of something. Like the Most High says that we are his flock, and his flock shall hear his voice. What does that mean? That means that the children of Israel, who is God's chosen people, we are a nation, which we are a flock. We shall hear the Most High's voice when it is spoken. Now, are we going to actually hear his voice? No. It's talking about his words that are in the Bible. Okay, in this Bible, we are going to hear his words. All right, we are going to understand his laws, statutes, and commandments. Not everybody is going to get it. But for those that do, you will understand what is being said. You would never, ever hear the Most High's voice. You know what I mean? You would never, ever hear his voice directly talking into your head. If you hear a voice in your head, that means that you got to go to the doctor. That's what that means. You got to go get checked out. Because the Most High is not going to speak directly to you in that manner. He's going to speak to you in different ways. There's many ways to talk to people without using your mouth, without speaking words. All right? And if you don't understand that, you gotta come to class. You gotta get in tune with society and how the world works. All right? So that's what that means. So you gotta understand that I means people, tribe, troops, and a flock. All right? A flock just means like a group of things, or a group of people, a group of animals. Because a flock can be like animals, people, so on and so forth, depending on the context. Okay? All right. So once again, if anybody got any questions, go ahead and ask it in the chat. We'll go ahead and get into it. Salakia, you said what now? You said nonverbal communication. What do you mean? I'm not understanding. What exactly are you saying? All right. All right, let me go ahead and move on. All right, the Hebrew word is yad. Yad. Y-A-D. Yad. It's not yad, it's yad. Yeah, so yad. That's how you pronounce it. Oh, okay. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Okay, Khan. Now I get it now. No sweat. Khan. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I definitely understand. Khan. Yeah. All right. So, Yad. Yad is Y-A-D. Okay. What that simply means is all right. So Yad means hand. It means hand or strength. All right, it means hand or strength. Okay. All right, once again, make sure that you write this down, man. For the brothers and sisters that are watching, make sure that you write this down, because we already went over a group of words, just, about maybe, what is that, maybe like 30 minutes ago, about 40 minutes ago, and this is the second set of words, all right? All right, so once again, yad, which is hand or strength. And then I forgot the Hebrew for ayin, okay? So ayin is simply the eye right here. It looks like a circle, but it's not a circle. It's a symbol which represents eye, which is right here, and then the muh, all right? The muh, ayin. The I and the muh is connected. The A drops off. So that's why you got the I and the M. because I is by itself anyway, but when it's connected to something else, it's still by itself, but the A had to drop off. But otherwise, Yod, right? Yod is hand or strength. So how do we spell that? We got the Ya, and we got the Duh. It's connected. Because you got the Ya, Y-A, right here, and the Duh, it's supposed to be D-A, but since it's at the end of the word right here, it drops off with the A, so it's D. So Yod. Yod is your hand, or otherwise known as strength. Okay? All right. Let's keep going. All right. Halak. Halak is a very common word that you might hear in EPK. That's if you pay attention to the Lashawan Qadash, or better yet, the Sabbath service. When we are reading into the actual Hebrew, you will hear this word come up a few times. Actually, it's a very common word. It's also called an action word. All right. You know how you have verbs, adverbs, pronouns and action words, so on and so forth. Halak is going to be an action word. So let me write that right now. So I'm going to put an A in parentheses for action. It's not going to be an adverb, it's going to be A for action. And what does halak mean? It means a few things. It means go, walk, it mainly means walk, honestly. That's the main word. That's the main definition. Walk. That's why I underlined it, because that's the main definition, walk. Right? Halak. It's an actual word that means go, walk, or let's keep going. Lend. Like when you lend something to somebody. Bring. Otherwise, walk about. All right. Go, walk, lend, bring, walk about. Okay? Halak. Go, walk, lend, bring, or walk about. So it's pretty much very similar in certain contexts. All right? Just like words, right? Every single word, 9 times out of 10, has many definitions to it. All right? It has many different meanings to it. Meaning, examples and usage for it. Okay? All right, let's keep it going. That's halak. Halak. This is another word that I use a lot that should be recognized. The word is hawa'ah. Hawa'ah. Hawa'ah is the word. Okay? I use this word all the time. I used it last week. I used it the week before. This word is common. If anybody has been watching class and paying attention, This is the word hawa'ah. All right. All right. Oh, Salaki, I forgot to do the Hebrew for that again. Salaki. Give me 1 second here. All right, Halak. Salaki. You got the the la, and the ka, halak. That's the Hebrew. We got Hebrew for this as well. Got my arrow going. Okay. Halak, we got that going. Now we got hey, hawa'ah. So it means he. Now the reason why I capitalize the he is because it's talking about man in general, right? It's a, how would I say it? Okay, when you put it as he, but it's like a capital H and a lowercase e, you're talking about a specific someone, right? As a he, who's a man, right, or a boy. But when you put it capitalized as he, you're talking about a whole. So you're not talking about just one person as a man, but you're talking about more than one man, which is plural, which is also men. Okay? So you're talking about a group of men, all right? A group. But when you put he as lowercase, you're speaking about one person in particular, all right? So that one, or that, all right? It's all by itself, by the way. Hawa'ah. Hawa'ah. Okay? All right, Hawa'ah is all by itself. All right, once again, if anybody got any questions or concerns, let me know in the chat. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and keep moving. The word is ra'ah. Ra'ah. You want to say it fast? Ra'ah. Ra'ah. It sounds like la'ah. La'ah is no or not in Hebrew. So if someone asks you a question, did you go to the gym today? You say la'ah. What does la'ah mean? It means no. Okay? But la'ah sounds like ra'ah, because the only difference is there's a ra and not a la right there in front of it. So ra'ah. What does ra'ah mean? Okay? It means a few different things. All right, so it is pretty long. So ra'ah means see, look at, as a noun. So that's why I put an N right there. As a noun, in parentheses, it means appear. Okay. Also, too, it means be seen or show. All right, so it means a few different things, right? So ra'ah. Ra'ah means see, look at, as a noun, appear, be seen, or like to be seen, be seen. Like be seen means to like be seen by someone or something, right? Be seen, show, or cause to see. All right, it's very related. It's pretty much all the same thing. It has something to do with your sight. It has something to do with your eyes. To see, to look at, to appear, to be seen, show, or cause to see. That's what that means. Ra'ah. To see. All right? All right, let's go over this one since it's very similar. By the way, let me do the Hebrew again. All right, so once again, ra'ah, ra'ah. The next one's going to be la'ah, la'ah. I just mentioned it maybe like less than 5 minutes ago, or less than 2 minutes ago, I should say. La'ah, okay? La'ah means no or not. Okay? No or not. If you want to learn how to say yes, that's Khan. Khan is K-A-N. Khan. It's going to be K-A-N. Khan. All right? So, la'ah means no or not. Okay? Very simple, very self-explanatory. All right? All right. All right. So you got the la, you got the That's it. La, It's not connected, it is separate. Okay? That's what it is. All right? Now la, is separate, not together. And let me throw on one more real quick. This is a word that we are always going to see, always hear anytime that we do the Sabbath service, or otherwise anytime that we do Lashawan Qadash too. All right, any type of reading, any type of Hebrew, every so on and so forth, you're going to hear this word as well. All right, La is very common, but the next one is pretty common as well. The word is ban. It's not ban. In English, ban is when someone restricts you from doing something. Restricts you from something, I should say. But this is ban. Ban, right? B-A-N, ban. Not ban, but ban. What does ban mean in Hebrew? Ban means son. son or youth. Also, too, it can mean from. Right? So bond, right? Bond. It can mean son, youth, or from. That's what it can mean. And I'll give you some examples as well. All right, for example, right? Okay, like for example, right? Every time we have what is called Sabbath service on Saturdays, right? We have what is called a service, Sabbath service. We read the Hebrew, we go over the prayers, and we go over the stories that we read about with the 7 verses, right? Because in Sabbath service, you read 7 verses in the Hebrew, and then you read it into English, and then you speak about the story that we read about. So we break it down, right? So every time a brother is in a class and it's time for them to read, they have to come up forth to the podium or to the table, and they have to speak what is called their registry. Your registry is who you are. So, for example, right, I would salute, I would do the Majum Shabbat, Majum, and I would salute, and I would say, I would salute and say, Shalom Yahweh Hashem Shabbat, or Shalom Yahweh Hashem Shabbat. I would say that. Then, of course, I would say Maccabia, Ban Yahawada, Ban Yasha'ala. So what I'm saying is, I'm saying my name is Maccabia. Ban means from or son of Yahawada. Yahawada is my tribe, because I'm Judah, right? I'm from the tribe of Judah, which is the so-called Negroes, because my father, which I'm the seed of, he is a Negro, or so-called African American, right? So Maccabia, Ban Yahawada. So Ban being from or son of Yahawada. Ban Yasha'ala. Yasha'ala is my tribe. I'm sorry, is my nation. Yasha'ala is Israel. Okay? So that's your registry. So that's where you would hear that from. Okay? If you hear the word Ban, it means son or from or youth, right? But in the context of your registry, it can be from or son. All right? So Maccabia, Ban Yahawada, Ban Yasha'ala. That's my registry. Maccabia, Ban, from or son of Yahawada, Judah, Ban, from or son of better yet, from Yasha'ala. But in that context, it would really be from. So my apologies. It really be from. So Maccabia, Ban Yahawada, Ban Yasha'ala. So Maccabia from Yahawada, which is Judah, Ban from the nation of Israel, which is Yasha'ala. That's how you would put that together. All right? And then whatever brother that you are based on your name, your tribe, and your nation. That's it, okay? That's how it goes. That's how you speak your registry. All right? And we can learn more about that during Sabbath service. As brothers, come into the Sabbath service in your, designated cities and states. All right? So otherwise, with that being said, yeah, man, we went over a few things, which was vocab words, as far as Hebrew. We have a few more things to go over as well, so stay tuned. And we are going to use the words that we use today, or we pretty much broke down today. We are going to use it in the future as well. So these words are not just for today, it's going to be for the future as well. So stay tuned for that, all right? That being said, I want to say shalom, Yahweh B'Shem Shah Barakatham to the brothers, shalom, Yahweh B'Shem Shah Salah. Shalom, Yahweh B'Shem Shah Barakatham to the brothers, shalom, Yahweh Shamar, Allah B'Shem Shah to the sisters. With that being said, shalom.